MW.
Steve, you said you felt good going into this game. Did you think this was just an energy level situation? Was a loss of confidence? Just generally, what would you explain?
I didn't like our first half with the turnovers. I think we had 10, and that's the key to the whole series is our ball security. And so the 10 turnovers in the first half got us off to a rough start. With that said, we're down 2 going into the fourth. And I thought the key play was the 4-point play to start the quarter. And that's on us as a staff. We've got to be we got to make sure they're matched up. And, they just threw it. We didn't guard Van Vliet. They threw it up the floor, and he knocks it down and gets the free throw. And that felt like a game-changing play because, it's, like I said, 2-point game. We're right where we need to be despite not having played very well and turned it over quite a bit.
Steve, do you see a common thread or commonality with the turnovers? These such a big issue? Is there something that's similar between them? Or?
We have the 3 wins in this series. We're averaging, I think, 10 or 11 turnovers. So it's just we're in a rush. We got to slow down a little bit.
With that being said, I mean, there was the 4-point play, but I think you guys missed like 14 of 15 shots in the fourth quarter. What happened offensively, would you say, during that stretch? Well,
they were in a zone. They played Adams quite a bit, and he's at the center of that zone, kind of a 2-1-2. I thought we got some good looks against the zone. But then once they pulled away by 10 or 12, it was easier for them to run us off the line. We had a lot of openings, but they were using their length to run us off the 3-point line, knowing that we had to make threes to get back in it. And I thought they did a good job of kind of running us off the line and keeping us from, knocking down threes to get us back in the game.
It would kind of seem outside looking in that you guys, your issues are not being able to solve this zone. But from some of your answers, it sounds like you feel okay about what you're getting against it. I mean, do you go to Game 7, believing that you can? Like, how much change do you think is needed against the zone, or not?
How much change?
Yeah, how you're attacking it, personnel, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's, playing zone offense is really about getting the ball to open space and then filling behind the play and moving the ball. And like I said, we've had a lot of good zone possessions in this series. And I thought we had some tonight, but, I think we'll do a better job in Game 7. We've got another tape to watch, and, we'll see some things. But, it's definitely been a factor. Adams was fantastic tonight. 31 minutes, probably the most he's played, in a couple of years. But he was so effective that Ime kept him out there, and they controlled the game while he was out there. We fouled him, and then they got a couple of rebounds after his missed free throws too. So that wasn't very effective ultimately. So we got some things that we can clean up. We got a Game 7 though, and we're excited about that.
Coach.
All right, that's Steve Kerr. He's ready to dive into the film here and try to correct some of the mistakes the Warriors have made over the last 2 games, but they also have to figure out how to get Stephen Curry some clean looks, especially from the 3-point line. The Rockets have held Stephen Curry to 11 of 33 from 3 over the last 3 games, and tonight just 9 of 23, 6 of 16 from the 3-point line. Did have the 7 rebounds, but just 2 assists. Rockets are doing a hell of a job, Zena, running Stephen Curry off that 3-point line. Tonight he did get 16 attempts up, but a lot of desperation 3-point attempts.
Right, and that's the difference. There's one thing to have Stephen Curry get 23 field goal attempts and get 16 3-point attempts, which is exactly what you want out of your best scorer on the team. But when it's not coming off of rhythm offense, when it's coming out of desperation, late shot clocks, that's not the look you want.
Well, the 2 assists are very telling because when Steph is in rhythm, that's when you double team Steph, you get the ball, somebody else, Brandon Pajemski, Moses Moody, they hit a shot, then the defense loosens up, then Steph can go off offensively. I thought the Rockets did a great job of isolating, getting everybody else cold, and Steph Curry was really trying to get the team back into the game. It was a tough night.
Look at those percentages, Willie. Just 33% from 3 over the last 3 games and under 40% from the floor.
Yeah, after Game 3, I remember we talked about his numbers. He was having 29 a game, 50, 40, 90. I think there's been some of minor adjustments with the Rockets defense, but I think it's more the lack of ball movement. Because to me, when Steph is on fire, he's going to make some hellacious shots. He's going to get some stuff in transition. But it's the half-court movement relocation, screening, back screening, where the defense just gets discombobulated and they lose their confidence defensively. That hasn't happened yet this series. I think each and every game, and you mentioned this, Bonte, not only have the Rockets dictated pace of play and style of play, I think their defense has felt really good about what they've done, even when they lost. I think that, they had to make the Warriors work. And these last 3 games, that I think the lack of ball movement has affected Steph's quality of shots. Now, tonight he got 23 field goal attempts. I thought he needed to get 20. But I think if you looked at him, not very clean looks, and not looks off ball movement, body movement, that typical rhythm and flow offense we see from the Warriors.
Just the second game in which Stephen Curry has attempted 10 or more threes in a game in this series. Rockets doing a good job on Steph, especially over the last 3. But Jimmy Butler, he tried to will. It was Batman and Robin. They were just looking for their afro tonight, the Golden State Warriors, that is, and they couldn't find them. As Jimmy Butler, 7 of 17 from the floor, did get to the free throw line, Fezzi. 12 of 14 from the free throw line, 27 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists. It was a game effort by Jimmy Buckets.
Jimmy is Jimmy. He is a gamer. He's going to come into the game trying to find a way to make an impact. 1 for 6 is also part of the Houston Rockets game plan, trying to push Jimmy away from the paint. Putting Steven Adams in the game. He's trying to limit Jimmy Butler's touches in the middle of the paint. You saw a couple block shots from Steven Adams. This is the way that they're isolating Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry. You guys go be superheroes. Try to make these tough shots. But everybody else, we're going to shut them down. And I thought in this game, this took the Warriors away. These numbers for both Jimmy and Steph Curry, it shows that the Houston Rockets defense is working. The Warriors got to get back to that same ball movement. The same thing that got them here. You got to have everybody on a string. Whatever it is, it's ball screens, getting Steph. If you double team Steph, you kick it to GP2. I think that was part of Steve Kerr's thinking, is GP2 has such great chemistry with Steph. He can come off those ball screens and make plays, but you got to make shots to start the game as well.
If there's anyone that had the closest rendition of their typical game tonight, it was Jimmy Butler. You look at his numbers, 27, 12 of 14 from the free throw line, 9 rebounds, 8 assists. That is a very Jimmy game. But again, that Houston defense brought him out of character by forcing 6 outside shots. That is not what Jimmy does. You would prefer those shots coming from inside the post or being able to translate into something going outside, kicking out to his teammates. So once again, even with the best player on the floor playing his best version of his game, the Houston defense still did their thing.
Yeah, I think if you look at Steph and Jimmy, they put up good numbers, but both guys' efficiency numbers down from their normal numbers, right? Jimmy's, 7 of 17. It's a good number, but usually he's really, really efficient. Steph, same thing, 9 of 23. But I look at the lack of impact on the other players. So GP2, you mentioned Fezzi. I think coming into the game, we thought double team Steph, GP2 rolls, gets a few layups, knocks down a few threes. That didn't happen for him. Buddy Hield had 0 points. So when those guys are rolling, all of a sudden the way they're playing fast, it's opening up opportunities for Buddy Hield. Then, Moses and Paz are pretty good, but with the Rockets defense, you need more from Quentin Post. So I felt like, again, the Rockets' defense and the Warriors' lack of ball movement made it more of an isolation team. Like you can say they got good numbers, but those numbers didn't impact their teammates like they usually do.
Okay,
Quickly,
look the
real
other
quick,
way.
before we go to break, Steve Kerr mentioned that Jonathan Kuminga, his return to the road